Hi, I'm Tanya and welcome to my channel. This yoga class is going to be chaturanga and down dog free. So it'll be a friendly class for anybody who has any sort of hand or wrist injury or just doesn't like to do those chaturangas. We'll run through some traditional standing poses, and once we're in those poses, we're going to add a little bit of breath to movement with them. So it'll feel very fluid, feel a little more like a vinyasa style class, even though we won't be going through the chaturangas and the traditional sun salutations. We will be working our way into camel pose for our back bend. So if you like to have any blocks to prop up underneath your hands as you go into camel pose, you may want to go ahead and grab those and have them handy. Otherwise, you shouldn't need any props, so just join me on your mat whenever you're ready. All right, we'll get started on our backs. So just come down on your backs. You can have your legs bent with your feet on the ground, or you can have your legs out long, whatever is most comfortable for you. And let's bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart. And we'll just take a couple of breaths here to settle ourselves in. So close your eyes if you'd like. And just exhale everything out. Get nice and heavy on the mat. Take a breath in, inhaling up, filling up all the way through your belly, through your lungs, even through the upper lungs. Pause at the top. And then exhale everything out. Pause at the bottom. Do that a few more times. Inhaling in, filling up the belly, the ribs, all the way upper chest. Hold at the top. And then exhale everything out. Pause at the bottom. Last time, inhaling in, filling up nice and big, belly, ribs, upper chest, hold at the top for 3, 2, 1, and then exhale everything out, and we'll pause at the bottom. Now you can find just a regular pace of breathing, so inhaling, expanding your lungs, and exhaling, drawing your belly in, a little bit of light core activation as you exhale. Again, inhaling, expanding, and exhaling, drawing everything in. All right, if you close your eyes, you can go ahead and flutter them open. You can move your hands and draw your knees in towards your chest. Give them a bit of a squeeze. If you want to, you can lift your shoulders and find a nice tight little ball. And then relax that out. We'll move into a figure 4. So left foot's going to be on the ground. Right foot's going to extend up. Externally rotate in the hip socket. Bend the knee and bring the right ankle on top of the left quad. Once you're there, you can kind of pull your legs in as a single unit. And maybe even use your right arm or elbow to push into your right thigh, deepening the stretch a little bit through the hip. You want to keep both of your feet active, so keep them a little bit flexed, just to help keep all of the muscles in your legs engaged. Last breath here. All right, now keep the figure 4 stance, but release your hands. Bring your left foot back down to the mat, and we're going to take a twist. So right foot comes over off the left side of your mat. Arms can extend out to a T or maybe cactus. And then you can pick your head up, turn it to look away from your knees. So legs are over to the left, gaze is over to the right. And then if you want to add a little bit of self-assist, you can bring your left hand, press it into your right leg and push that away from your body. And you'll feel it kind of somewhere in either your right side body or right hip. Kind of depends on where you are tight as to where you're going to feel it. Couple more breaths here. And then bring your gaze back up through center, lift your head. Release the little self-assist, and then bring both your legs back through center. Uncross your legs, give them a little squeeze, lift your shoulders again, nice tight little ball. And then relax it out. Other side, so right foot down, left leg extends up towards the ceiling. Externally rotate in that hip socket, bend the knee, and bring your left ankle on top of your right thigh. Once you're there, draw both legs in, give them a little squeeze, drawing them towards your chest. And then if you like that little self-assist, then left hand or forearm or elbow can press into the left leg, press it away from your body. And then again, just check in with your feet. Both of your feet are nice and active. Breathing here. Nice gentle warm up before we make our way into our standing poses. All right, keep the figure four legs, but release the arms. Bring your right foot back down to the mat, and then left foot comes across, adding a twist. So left foot over to the right side of your body, arms again out to a T or cactus, and then pick your head up and turn it to look to the left. And then if you like that little self-assist, right hand can press into the left leg, pressing it away from your body just a little bit. And just kind of find that spot where you're like, oh, that feels good. And then that's where you want to stay. Breathing here. For 3, 2, 1. Unwind your head back through center. Release your left leg. Pull your legs back in. Uncross them and give them a squeeze. Lift your shoulders. Find a little tuck here. All right, and then we're going to rock and roll and come all the way over on to your forearms. So forearms can come down to the mat, and then step your legs back and find a forearm plank. So elbows are in about shoulder width apart, and then you're going to feel like a little bit of rotation with the hands, so that the hands are also in line with the elbows. Hips aren't too high, they're not too low, but they're either kind of in line with the shoulders or maybe just a little bit higher. You don't want to be sinking anything down. Breathing here for 3, 2, 1. With control, you're just going to lower the hips back down to the mat. Release the toes, and then lift the chest, lift the head. From here, we're finding a nice little Sphinx pose. So check your elbows. You may need to slide them forwards a little bit. You want them directly under your shoulders. Rotate the legs so that the top of the feet is on the mat. So it's going to feel like you're lifting the inseams of your pants up towards the ceiling just a little bit. So tops of the knees, tops of the feet on the mat. And then maybe lift your right leg up off the mat, just an inch or so. Activating the back side of the body here. And then drop it back down. And then other side, lifting the left leg. Couple of breaths. And then release it back down. From here, curl your toes under. We're coming back up into that forearm plank. So lift the hips. And then walking the legs up. We're going to find a bent knee dolphin pose. So it's early. So our shoulders aren't too warmed up. So it's okay to keep a nice bend in the knees. Breathing here for 3, 2, 1. And from here, we're just going to make our way up to a standing ragdoll. So you can walk the feet in, come to a little squat, and then tick-tock the feet so they're hips width apart and fold forward into this ragdoll. You can grab elbows if you'd like. If you want to shake your head or sway your hips, whatever movements would feel natural for you, go ahead and take those. Last nice deep breath here. Inhale and exhale. You can sigh it out if you'd like. All right, release your hands down towards the ground and then roll up through the spine, coming all the way up to standing. And then we'll meet at the front of the mat if you're not there. So you can step forward, feet are together, so toes together. You have a little space between your heels if you'd like, and arms down by your side. We're going to take a couple of half salutations. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward, hinging at the hips. Inhale, lengthen the spine, find a flat back. And exhale, fold forward again. Inhale, stand up, arms sweep up. And exhale, hands to heart center. We'll take a breath here. Inhale. And exhale, let it go. We'll do that once more. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten the back. And exhale, fold down. Inhale, stand up, arms sweep up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Take a breath here. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice, or for your day, or your evening, whenever you're taking this class, you can do that now. All right, and then we'll add some flow onto that. So repeating the half salutation, arms come up, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway, flatten the back. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, stand up, arms sweep up. And then exhale, hands to heart. We're gonna put a little bend in our knees and then step your left foot back. We're gonna find a warrior two. So big stance, big step back. You want your front toe still facing forward and your back foot, kind of the pinky toe side of your foot, is essentially in line with the back of the mat. So get settled in your warrior two first. Nice deep bend in this front right leg. And then we'll add some movement. So inhale here. And exhale, we're gonna spring our right hand down, left arm up, and we're gonna lean to the front. Maybe gaze up. Inhale, back up through center. And then exhale, flip the arm. So left hand down, right arm up, lean to the back. Inhale through center. And exhale to the front. Inhale to center. And exhale to the back. One more round each way. So coming back through center and to the front. Inhale to the center. And exhale to the back. Inhale, find your warrior two again. And then straighten the right leg. We're getting set up for triangle pose. So if you'd like to shorten your stance, you can a little bit. And then lift your left hip, drop your right hip. So hip points are coming to a bit of an angle. Lean towards the front of the mat. And then right hand can come down to the ground or towards your shin. And let's bring our left hand up to the sky. So lift up to the left shoulder, gaze up. Breathing here. Head is we're going to be in line with spine. It's just lifted up towards the ceiling. Last breath. And then activate your inner thighs, so inner legs drawing towards each other, and then core lifts you up. And then one breath here, just reverse the triangle. And then hands back parallel to the ground. Bend the right knee, step forward to the front of the mat. A little bend in the knees. And then other side, so right foot steps back this time. Warrior two, left foot's forward, right foot's back. Find your warrior two first. So nice deep bend in this left leg, arms parallel, grounding down, but then lifting up. Take a breath, inhale. And then we'll start that movement. So exhale, left hand down, right hand up, lean to the front, maybe gaze up. And then exhale back through to center. To the back, inhale. And exhale through center. Two more rounds. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Last cycle. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale to the back. And exhale back to warrior two. All right, from here, straighten this left leg. If you want to shorten your stance, you can. Tuck that back leg in a little bit. Lift your right hip, lower the left so hip points are at an angle. Lean to the front, and then the left hand down towards the inner leg or towards the ground. Right arm up towards the ceiling. Lift the right shoulder up. So we're not dumping down, but reaching nice and long through the arms. Head can be gazing up or down for balance. Either way is perfect. A few breaths here. Last inhale. And exhale. If you're gazing up, bring your gaze back down. Activate through the inner leg. So like you're drawing your legs together, but feet are planted on the mat. And lift your core up. Lift the chest. Reverse the triangle. So lean towards the back. And then back through warrior two. And then just step forward towards the front of the mat, meeting in mountain pose. You can bring your hands to heart center if you'd like. Let's take a breath here. Inhale. And exhale, let it go. Next little flow. We're gonna start in a chair pose. So bend the knees, drop the hips, arms come up. And then shifting your weight to your right leg, we're gonna lift our left leg up. And then nice and slowly step it back, crescent lunge. So we're landing on the ball of this left foot. You can have a bend in this left knee if you'd like to. You want your hip points lifted and your tailbone lengthening behind you. So there's not really any back bending here. And then once you've got this nice neutral kind of pelvic area, you can begin to lift the left leg, activating through the squat. Once you're stable there, arms come up, rotate those palms towards each other. So think about lengthening up through the outer arms and down through the inner arms. And then stay here, we've got that option for movement. So inhale, find a little bit more length in the spine. Exhale, hinge forward and swing your hands back by your hips. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, lean forward and hinge. And again, inhale, up through to center. Exhale, lean forward and hinge. We're gonna stay here, so hands can stay back by your hips. Begin to shift your weight into your right leg. Get buoyant on your left leg, and then you can spring up and find a warrior three. So flex the left foot, drop the left hip, hands are back by your hips. Or if you want to heart center, or always down to the ground or to blocks is a perfect option. Last breath. We're gonna come back where we started, so lift the chest, lift this left knee forward, this one-legged mountain pose, and then set it down, chair pose. I was a little wobbly there, you might have been too. Meeting back in mountain pose. Let's take a breath. Exhale, let it go. Other side, chair pose, bend the knees, drop the hips, arms come up. And then shift the weight to the left foot, hover the right leg up. With control, nice and slowly, extend this right leg behind you. Find your crescent lunge. So get steady here first. And again, bend the right knee if you'd like to. Lift the hip points, lengthen through the core, the spine, and then arms come up. And then if you feel steady here, you can straighten this right leg. Only doing that if it doesn't mess up with the integrity of your alignment. Stay here or add that movement. Inhale, grow a little bit. Exhale, hinge forward, lean and swing your hands back by your hips. Inhale, back up. Exhale, lean and sweep. Inhale, back up. And again, exhale, lean and sweep the hands back. Stay here with the hands back by your hips. Begin to shift your weight forward a little bit. Get buoyant and lighten this right leg. And then lift the right leg up, finding your warrior three. Hands can stay back by your hips or down on the ground. Maybe you lost your balance like I did there. Breathing here. Last breath. And then coming back where we started, lift the chest, bring this right leg forward, one-legged mountain pose. And then bend the knee or both legs, chair pose. And then stand up mountain pose. Let's take a breath, inhale. And exhale, let it go. And then a big step to the side of the mat. Either side is fine. Find a goddess squat. So heels are in, toes are out. Nice deep bend in your knees. Take a breath here and let it go. And then pay attention to where your knees are. So you don't want them knocking in, but you want some external rotation with the legs at the hip socket. So again, inseam of your pants reaching up towards the ceiling to keep the knees aligned. From here, we'll add some movement. So inhale, straighten the legs, reach the arms up. Inhale, maybe gaze up. Exhale, hands to heart center, bend the knees again. And again, inhale. And exhale. Once more, inhale. And exhale, hands to heart. So landing in this goddess squat. So now we're gonna keep our legs steady and we're just gonna move our arms and our legs. So like we did in the warrior two, arms out to the side. Inhale here. Exhale, lean to the right. Right arm down, left arm up, maybe gaze up. Inhale, back through to center. Exhale, lean to the left, left arm down, right arm up, maybe gaze up. And then back through to center. Twice more. To the right. And back to center. And to the left. And back to center. Last time to the right. And to center. And to left. And to center. All right, good job. Straighten the legs. You can pivot the feet so feet are parallel. Outside of feet is parallel to the outside of your mat. Hands to your hips, wide leg forward fold. So lengthen the chest, lift up, and then hinge forward. You can just release your hands down to the ground. Think about the top of your head coming down towards the top of the mat. Breathe in here. It should feel pretty nice after those goddess squats. Maybe shift your weight forward just ever so slightly into the balls of your feet. Last breath. Then inhale, lift up halfway, flatten your back. Exhale, release your hands up to your hips. Inhale, ride your breath all the way up, lift your chest. And then exhale, step to the front of the mat. All right, making our way down towards the mat. So find the center of your mat so you got lots of room. Hands come out in front of you, palms face down, arms parallel to the ground. Now think about zipping your legs up, so all the way from kind of your crotch down to your ankles. Lift your heels, keep them together. And then nice and slowly, we're just gonna make our way down to a toe stand. So bend the knees and begin to lower the hips. Coming down, 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 nice and slowly. Once you're there, hips may rest on your ankles. If they do, you're gonna wanna lift up a little bit. So just activating through the pelvic floor, lifting about an inch or so, maintaining your balance. All right, good job. With control, knees can come down to the mat. And then if you want to have those blocks handy for your camel pose, you can have them. We're gonna start with some lean backs, which if you haven't done these before, you can just follow along. So you can have the blocks ready for in a moment. You can have them outside or inside your heels, whatever you prefer. And we're gonna start with hinge back. So same arm placement as we just did, arms parallel to the ground out in front of us, palms face down. And we're just gonna keep a nice straight line from the crown of our head to our knees. We're just gonna lean back. So lean back as far as you can. What we're doing is we're stretching the quads and preparing the hip flexors here. And then come back up. We're gonna do that twice more. So lean back as far as you can, getting nice and strong through the quads and the hip flexors. And then back up. And this time you can do that and you'll have an option to go into camel pose from it. So again, just hinge back as far as you can go. Get nice and steady. And then you're gonna release your hands down to the blocks or to your heels. And then think about unfurling the spine here. So hips unwind forward. Chest can open, head can fall back. If that hurts your neck to have your head fall back, you can always keep your chin tucked a little bit. Last breath. And then lifting your shoulders evenly like you've got a chain pulling you up through your chest, lift up. And then you can release your toes and just sit back. You need to make a little room with your blocks you can. Take a breath. Exhale, let it go. So I really like this entrance into camel pose. Some people really hate it. We're gonna take one more camel pose. So if you liked it, you can play with this again. If you hate it, just take a traditional camel pose. That's totally fine. It's your practice. You can do whatever you want. So we'll meet back up on our knees. You can curl those toes under for a little bit more stability. And then I'll guide you through. So arms out, parallel to the ground. Lengthen the spine. Use your core for balance. And then just lean back. Lean, lean, lean. And then hands can come down to those blocks or maybe to your ankles. And then unwind the spine. So release those hips forward. Allow the shoulders to stay back. Open the chest. Maybe drop the head. For 3, 2, 1. Lift the chest. Lift the shoulders evenly. Come back up. And then release the toes and find a seat. Let's take a breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Let it go. All right, making our way to cooling off. You can set these blocks to the side, and we're just gonna make our way into a janu. So lift your hips, cross your ankles, and then extend your legs forward. And then we're just gonna start, we'll bring our left leg in. So like half butterfly with our left leg. So left leg is in, right leg is long in front of you. So think about kind of pressing your foot to your leg and your leg back into your foot here. Reaching up, inhale, and exhale, hinging forward. As far as you can go. And try and keep your back kind of flat-ish here. So think about chest towards the quad. And so what we're trying to avoid is this rounding, because that doesn't really get us the stretch that we want. So keep your back flat, even if you're up nice and high like this. All right, last breath here. And then lift up, find a flat back first. And then exhale, let it go. We're gonna take a little boat pose between sides. So lift the knees, extend the legs parallel to the ground, arms forward, chest is up. And then other side. Left leg long, right leg comes in this time. A little bit of that pressure, so leg into thigh, thigh into leg. Reach the arms up, inhale. And then exhale, hinge forward. Keep the spine long. And then maybe deepen the stretch. So think chest towards quads, forearms towards the ground, and then head just stays in line with spine. Breathing here. Last breath. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, let that go. And again, a boat pose. So lift the chest, lift the knees, shins are parallel to the ground. Take a breath. Let it go. One more seated posture and I'll make our way onto our backs. So we're gonna do a head to knee with a side lean. So if you wanna come to face the side of your mat, you can. We're gonna start with our left leg in and our right leg long. All right, so right forearm rather is gonna come towards the ground in front of this right leg. And if you want to, you can use a block if you need a little more room. Left arm's gonna sweep up and then lean over towards this right leg. So think about keeping this left hip on the ground and really stretching through the left side body here. We'll be here for 3, 2, 1, coming back up through center. If you're using the block, you can sit up off to the side. Take a butterfly between sides. So first bring both feet in. You can grab the feet or the toes. Nice long spine, tuck the chin. And then other side. So left leg extends long, right leg stays into this half butterfly. If you'd like that forearm or the block to the ground for your forearm, you can use that. Left hand down, right arm sweeps up, and you lean over to the left. Again, keeping this right hip pressed down, lengthen through the right side of your body. We're here for 3, 2, 1. Come back up through center. You can set this block off to the side again if you were using it. Butterfly pose again, both feet in, lengthen the spine, tuck the chin. Grab the feet if you'd like to. Last breath here. Exhale, let it go. All right, then release your feet. You can lift your knees and just make your way onto your back. We'll do a little twisting here. So let's separate our feet wide towards the long ends of the mat. So a little bit wider than hips width apart, knees are bent. And then we're just gonna let our knees fall to the left. You can extend your arms overhead and stay here if you'd like to. You can pick this left foot up, put it on top of this right leg, and give yourself a little self-assist. So left foot on top of right thigh here. For 3, 2, 1. If you brought the left foot on top of your right leg, just release it back down to the ground. Use your core, guide your legs back up through center. Make sure your feet are still nice and wide, kind of parallel to each other on the long ends of the mat. And then just release the knees over to the right this time. Stay here or pick this right leg up. Put the right foot on top of your left thigh. A little self-assist. And then a few breaths here. Last breath. All right, release this right leg back down the mat. Lift your knees. And then from here, you can make your way into Shavasana. So you can bring your arms back down by your side, palms maybe face up. Extend your legs nice and long. Or any other position that would be comfortable for your Shavasana is perfect. If you'd rather take a seated meditation, or lay on your side. Anything is an option, as long as it's a space and a place that you feel that you can take rest. So allow yourself to get nice and heavy here. Just kind of feel like you're almost melting into the ground. Letting go of tension in your head, through your shoulders, through your arms, through your chest and your core, through your hips, your glutes, through your legs and your feet. Let's take a nice deep breath together, inhaling in. And exhale, let it go. And just allow your inhales to be nice and soothing. And your exhales, relaxing. And I will leave you here. I encourage you to take several more minutes in your Shavasana, but you don't need to do that with me talking to you. So just enjoy your well-earned rest. Until next time, namaste.